And we are live today. Welcome back to a new episode of the Wounded Icon podcast. Let's get straight into it. Yesterday, I did a podcast with my buddy Nitish, and we discussed the topic as to why so many women look exactly the same. Now, that topic turned out to be quite controversial, as I had some women come in and basically bash me, tell me that I'm not allowed apparently to talk about women. It's a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
So basically they were saying it's not appropriate for two men to discuss women. I don't understand how that works. But before we get into that, one of the comments was a very kind fellow asking, I would love to hear Katya's opinion on this. So without further ado, please, let's hear your opinion on this.
Okay, well, I have to start by saying that I am very traditional in this sense somehow. So let's say I was born in 87. I come from a different generation. And I completely know what you're talking about. I completely understand what you're talking about, and I have seen it too. I have seen it in the street. So it's like, I think it's a generational topic. I think it's because right now we are more, we are just out there, even though we are inside, you know. We are in the sight of so many people. There's people judging us. We always want to be like the best, the most beautiful, the one with the best hair, the best eyes, the best body, everything, you know. And there is a lot of competence. You feel like there is a lot of girls out there that are really, really beautiful. So sure, it makes you think that there is something wrong with you, you know? And it's like, and I remember I even told you sometimes, like, when I took selfies or stuff like this, I remember asking you, I don't get the pose. I don't know how I'm doing something wrong, you know? And then after that, trying to figure out and then saying, oh, okay, there it goes. This is the one, you know?
Let me interrupt for a second because that's so funny. I do remember that moment. We were in the car. I think it was in Austria.
We were coming back from Austria.
Right. You were taking selfies. And at one point, you look over to me and you're like, Daddy, how does this work? I'm like, what are you talking about? And then you were like, I'm trying to take these like typical selfies you see on Instagram. And I remember telling you, well, first of all, you have to put the camera like above you for whatever reason. And it's just so funny that you were trying to figure that out. I remember that.
Yeah, and actually, with this, I don't want to say that I'm not superficial or I haven't tried it or blah, blah, blah. No, that's not true. I have tried taking selfies, doing the right angle and stuff like that. And sure, like after 100 attempts, you discover the right angle. You discover which is the position where you look the best. And then you have to go over through all those filters to try to look for the best filter that suits you best and things like this. But for me, it's very embarrassing, I have to say. Like, if one day you see me like this on my Instagram, and then that same afternoon you look at me in real life and you see that I have pimples, or that my hair is not that good, or my, I don't know, whatever, my eyebrows are not, it's not real. I will really feel ashamed, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I will feel like, oh my God, I just show something and I'm not looking that good. So I also think it's generational, because I think people from my age, I've seen that, let's say I have 100 girls from my age, and from those 100 girls, there are like 5 girls who have got it and are on it, you know, and then you see them in real life and it's like, no, you are not that, you know. But I also see that it comes more from like the following generations.
For sure, 100%.
You know, it's like they are more into all this social media stuff, and I am too. But somehow, let's say, I feel like this is not my game anymore. You know, I'm over this. Like, I think and I feel that I will look like really bad and really like somehow immature, let's say, because I don't know, I'm just not into it.
And
so
for me, like, I just feel like it's such a hypocritical message, because the current young generation of women, they're all about empowerment, they're all about feminism, they're all about loving yourself, but then at the same time they're taking 100 pictures to get that right angle. And the question deserves to be asked: if you need 100 pictures to get that one picture, is that still really you? Is that you? If 90 pictures, look way different, I think it's fair to say, just looking at the numbers, like that's closer to who you are in real life.
Yeah. And also, I think it has a really huge impact on other girls, because there are other girls, and I have felt it too, like, oh my God, there is something wrong going on. Like, because I don't look this good. I don't have that skin. I don't have those big eyes and these 1,000 eyelashes. I don't. And yeah, it's like they make you feel insecure. It makes you feel insecure. And also, I read that nowadays there are more surgeons that have these girls coming over to their
practice.
Yeah, to their practice, and they are like, I want to look like this, you know, and they show him or her like an Instagram picture with 10,000 filters on it. So yeah, sure, it's like that's not real, and it's sad, but yeah.
I gotta say though, it also happens with us guys, and with us it happens with guys in the gym. And I also figured that out. So at one point, I started following fellow fitness dudes and bodybuilders on Instagram. And I'm looking at them like, holy fucking shit, like they look huge. But then I also started figuring out, I started meeting people in real life, and it's like, dude, you're tiny. Like, for example, the guys that look the biggest on Instagram, muscle-wise, usually are super short in real life, because short guys tend to look very good when you get them without any type of like measurement. So when there's no reference, so it's just them in the picture, so you can't see how tall or short they are. And then I started figuring out it's the same with lighting, it's the same with posing, and I do it too. Like, let me be clear, all the pictures on my Instagram where I'm posing, I don't walk around looking like that. Like, that's me hitting a perfect pose, having a pump, like the right angle, and I do it too. I definitely do it too. So it's not just like a women thing, but in a way, I'm still like, and that was really my thing, like, I can live with putting the best version of yourself on social media. I can live with that. But when it kind of transcends into like people going out wearing a full-on mask, that's where I draw the line.
I know.
Like, that's where I draw the line.
And I want to say something about it. Like, from 1,000 people that you see on Instagram, 998 of them look amazing.
Right.
And then when you walk in the street and you see 1,000 people, you don't find even 50 people that look that good.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, yeah, it's like that person is not really you, and you are putting the parameters of society of another like dimension, another world, because this is not the real society where we walk, where we go to the supermarket, where we go to the fitness, where we go out dancing, where we go out, partying. Well, not now, but
I've been thinking about this. I have this theory where you basically have two worlds. You have the real world in which we live, and then you have the second world that exists only in our imagination and in our mind. And every single piece of advertisement that we come across, every movie, every song, every social media post is aimed at that second world that's in our head. But that world is not real, right? And even like our idea of sex, our idea of what it is to have a healthy relationship, our idea of what it means to be successful, those are all ideas from that second world. And I've been trying to like come up with a way to put it in words, and I'm definitely gonna write about that in my book, to encourage people to only live in that first world. Like, stop living in this like mirror reality, because it's not real.
Yeah.
And I also feel like a lot of people are just choosing to live in that second reality,
because the real life is depressing.
It is because you can't hide it. Like, and even with the full-on like mask on, that's another thing. What I've noticed is about these like full-on body masks, for lack of a better term, they actually really look good on photos. There's something about the combination of these 6 layers of makeup and the flash, because you need the flash for whatever reason. You have to take a picture with a flash. It comes across really well. It goes hand in hand with picture taking. But then when you see it in real life, like you can see, like what's going on here? Like there's clearly something unnatural going on there. So it's not even in their best interest for these people to come out and be people in the real world. Like I just feel like we are creating an entire generation that has just become so comfortable behind their phone and being able to just communicate through text and emojis. Another thing is that I have a friend of mine who has a business, and he's hiring people who are fresh out of high school or they just graduated, they're like 22. Apparently, and I have no facts to back this up, there's a growing trend where young people are having a very hard time communicating on the phone, meaning by voice. So when my friend, the boss, tells them, like, you got to call such and such, they're like, what do you mean call? Like, can I email them? Because it's weird. They're not used to, like, the direct communication where I'm going to call you, I'm going to say something, you're going to, like, I'm going to have to immediately say something back. Like, texting allows for so much pragmatic thinking to take place. Everything is strategic, like a game of chess, you know, like, let me think about that. Like,
there's control.
There's control. And all that control goes out the window once we're eye to eye, or even on the phone. Even on the phone. Like, so, and also I wanna go back to that, like, so this lady was telling me, how dare you talk about women? What do you mean? Like, I talk shit about guys all the time. So what, I can't talk shit about women because they're women? How does that work? So I thought we're all equal, right? We are equal. If I see guys doing dumb shit, I'm going to call it out. No one ever cares when I hate on a guy. No one has ever come in and said, you can't talk about that, man. Like, no, they're like, yeah, you're right, or whatever. The minute you say something about a woman, automatically it's like considered like a crime or something. Like, and this has to stop, man. Like, I'm tired of this cancel culture, Me Too bullshit, where it's just like, I feel like, and I feel like I'm not the only one. Like, a lot of people are sick of that, where we're being censored, or where it's like, it's not okay to say certain things anymore. Like, yeah, it is okay. Like, we're figuring you out. We figured out that, you know, the whole power of being controlled by these moral people on Twitter and hiding behind their accounts, I feel like that's definitely going away again. Like, we saw a spike of that in the last couple of years, where everyone has gotten very careful. You can't say this, you can't say that, you might offend someone. I feel like this is going out the window. Where it's just like, people are just like, they are in need again of the real opinions and real conversations, without constantly having to think, is this politically correct? Is this okay? Is that okay? Am I going to offend someone? I feel like if you're a good person who doesn't have any, like, real bad beliefs, like if you're not a racist person, if you're not a super sexist person, and you know that you treat people well, there's not much that you can't say wrong. Like, you can just speak freely. Or what do you think about that? You seem to perhaps disagree, or like...
No, I'm thinking, because, yeah, like, this girl, for example, in this case, she was saying something like, how dare you to talk about this topic without having a woman there? But I was thinking, yeah, actually, this girl doesn't know that you are not sexist at all, that you cook, you wash, you do your stuff, like there is no, you know... There is no point where you say, no, I'm not going to do it because I'm a guy.
Yeah.
Maybe we do it because we say, no, we are lazy, we don't want to clean, or we don't want to... Okay, that's different, because we both are like that. And if I don't do it, you are not going to do it. And if you don't do it, I'm not going to do it either.
Of course.
That's the way it goes. So... But that's, for me, yeah, it's a topic, like, it's true. Like, it's a very sensitive topic. Like... You have to be, let's say, you have to constantly have control of the things that come out of your mouth, because they can be taken in a bad way. And it's true, it's a position that has come recently. But it's also a position that has come recently because there has been a lot of things going on. And I'm telling you this also from the culture that I come, the cultural background that I come. Like, I've been grown up in a super machist country. And yeah, sure, it's like, I know when people stand up for these things, I know why they are doing it. It's because if they don't stand up now, things are gonna get worse. And I've seen how is it when you don't stand up, and I've seen it how is it when it gets worse. So what people are trying to do is that we don't get to that point. So I understand also like that position and that perspective, and I respect it a lot.
Let me ask you something. Do you feel like there is visibly less sexism in Europe than there is in South America? Yeah. And in what regards, like, how do you experience
like
that?
For example, here, but just like everywhere, but basically here you are walking in the street and you don't have people catcalling you. You don't have this thing, you know. Here, just people walk. Okay, maybe you can have you can look at like a cute guy, and a cute guy can look at you, but it's just looking, you know. There is just like, they look at you, they like tell you things. Sometimes they even try to grab you, you know. It's like crazy, yeah. It's crazy. It's completely disrespectful. And in that sense, also in other sense, like I have come from a super conservative family, so yeah, like the table has to be set before the man comes down to eat, you know. And I have seen my uncles, for example, my dad even used to be very machist before. And I've seen this. I've seen this going on. But this is something that with generations it has changed. Like right now, my aunts have teach my cousins to cook, to do so. Either if they're male or female, it doesn't really matter. You know, they just have to do it. So yeah, basically in these things.
I just definitely feel like people on the far left, on the extreme left, are just as dangerous as people on the far right. And it's like it's really this mentality that I just cannot stand, and I'm never gonna censor myself. I'm never gonna apologize when I don't even feel like I said or did something wrong. And I think there's a need for that. But I also see and feel that in the community of creators overall, people are sick of this shit where it's like you just constantly, because they've canceled too many people in the past couple of years,
and they will keep canceling them if no one does anything, because somehow it's after generations that the situation changes. So you need to keep standing up. That's the way it works. It's like, it's sad, but that's the way it works right now. Maybe in some generations you will be completely right, and then you will be like, no, I don't have, why I have to say, but right now, at the moment where we are living, we are still in a point, and maybe here you don't see it that clear, but if you go abroad, like if you go to South America, or if you go to Africa, or even Asia, you see it, and it's there, it's clear, everybody knows it. So actually, just because if we live in this reality, it doesn't mean that that's the rule. Actually, we are the exception.
We are.
So I have to go upstairs.
Okay, Debbie. Well, thank you for taking 20 minutes out of your incredibly busy job to clarify that and to let the people know that you're still supporting your boy.
I am, and I will come back.
Thank you, Debbie. Do you need help making better decisions in your life? Are you lacking self-confidence and motivation to get things done? Hire me today and get a direct daily line of communication with me through video chat and audio messages. I operate on a week-to-week basis, so no long-term investment is required. 7 straight days of Viking advice will get you right on track. Email me at lorenz.dries@gmail.com and change your reality. I'm ready whenever you are. See you soon.